I've arrived in Tatong, but before visiting the monument and Holland Creek, where the Hume and Hovell Expedition reached on November 27th, 1824, I stopped for lunch at the Tatong Tavern with members of the Tatong Heritage Group. I highly recommend the tavern if you're in the area. It was built in the 1880s, so 60 years after the Hume and Hovell Expedition passed through the area. So this is the monument at Tatong. This is Joan and Joe, both members of the Tatong Heritage Group. A lovely group of people and a very active group. A lot of history in the Tatong area, including some Ned Kelly connections. Close to the monument, a clone of the Hovell tree has been planted, though I'm told that the original river red gum has been crossed with a forest gum so it can survive a distance from water. There's also an information board, and if you're interested in Tatong history, the group maintain a very informative website. I'll put the link below. It was after leaving 15 Mile Creek that Hume and Hovell crossed over ranges and valleys and a couple of other creeks that they then reached Holland Creek. It was a difficult day for the travellers. Hovell wrote in his journal, "Started about 6 o'clock. From the appearance of the morning I thought we should have a change of weather, as the morning was cloudy and threatened rain, but it was all deception. For a few hours the sun was intolerably hot, and as our whole time has been employed in ascending and descending 5 different ranges, all stones, bad soil and brush, we felt the heat much more than we should have otherwise. The stones hurt the feet of the cattle so much that we were obliged to stop in the valley, where there was about as much grass as would last them for the night. When we were crossing one of the creeks, the bank gave way and Mr. Hume's mare fell upon her back into it, and her load, which was flour, was not halfway in the bags before we could get her on her legs again. In this place we find the tracks as well as other proofs that the kangaroo run here, but I am sorry to say that we cannot see one. Our dogs are nearly starved, notwithstanding we feed them on flour. In consequence of our having carried our pork in bags, it has wasted, I can with safety say, more than half. We have now but 3 pieces left. Pork should always be packed in casks made for the purpose, otherwise the sun destroys it." These 2 magpies are greeting me at Holland Creek, which is right here. I've just been for a lovely lunch at the Tatong Tavern and discovered that when there was a football team in Tatong, they were the Magpies. Great team mascot, the Magpies. I've got to tell you, I don't know what the temperature is, but I think it's in the mid or low 30s, and I'm feeling really hot. I've got my walking boots on, jeans, t-shirt, and it blows me away to think that they were walking the distances that they did on days like today. I can't wait to hop back in my hire vehicle and turn on the aircon, and it just makes me think, how did they do it? How did they climb over mountains like that behind me? They were so much more resilient back then, I guess. They were just used to it, weren't they? We're all a bit soft these days. Well, I am. Too much Netflix on the couch. Oh well. It's good to be out here. And it's going to be good to get back in the car. When the Hume and Hovell Expedition left Holland Creek, they crossed Mount Samaria on the 28th of November. There's a monument there which I didn't make it to, but the next one I visited was at Barjarg. Apparently concrete was all the rage in this area, so that's why some of these monuments have been built with concrete instead of stone. And from the Barjarg Monument you can see Mount Samaria State Park to the east. And atop the monument is an arrow pointing the direction the expedition was travelling. And ahead of them they had the Strathbogies to cross.